Hi crocheters of the world, in this tutorial we will work together on this beanie. This is not that we will work together on a beanie. This is not a beanie hat, it's more like a lesson. Now let me just tell you something. Pluto is afraid of this guy. So what can I say? I have to talk quickly to explain you as fast as I can, because it's here that is barking and it's something that I don't know if I can stand. Okay, so this guy that is afraid of my dog Pluto. So the first of all, first two things that are really nice in this hat are, first of all, it's my stitch. This is a stitch that I came up with. It's a mixture between the half double crochet and the single crochet, and I name it the artistic single crochet of Oana. Okay, and that's it. Look at this texture. Isn't it just lovely? Okay. And the border, the elastic border is made with a slip stitch technique. So these are the two new things. Then there are more. So another very important thing is the yarn that I work with. We have it in the boutique. We ship only Europe. It's the Ship Stone Washed XL. Now, if you don't like the wool on your head, then this is the perfect yarn for you. It's cotton, but it's so nice and soft and perfect for winter, believe me. And it is 70% cotton and 30% acrylic. Is just lovely. This yarn is just perfect. We have it in 3 measures actually, because there is the stone washed XL. This is nice and not bulky, but it is to be worked with 5mm hook. And another one, which is Spirit. It's so nice and soft and thin. So we have 3 measures. Okay, now I used 100 grams, 2 balls of this one. There are so many beautiful colors that you cannot imagine. And another very important thing in this tutorial, which is not actually, I don't want to call it only a tutorial, because it's more than a tutorial, it's kind of lesson. And in this lesson, I try to teach you my method of taking measures for the perfect hat. So the hat to fit the head. Actually, this is the idea. Because I know there are always problems in how to measure, how to take measure for a perfect fit. It's not very easy. Now, from my experience, I put together these things and a formula, and this is a formula that I'm working with, and I always make perfect hats for anyone, for anybody from my family. You know, hats are things that always we use in the winter, and maybe in autumn too, because when it's really nice, where it's not nice, I wanted to say, where it's cold and chilly, and that autumn days, a hat is just perfect. At least for me too. I love hats. Okay, so stop talking, let us crocheting. 5mm hook, 100 grams, so 2 balls of this, and let's get started. Okay, so let's see. In this tutorial I will show you, first of all, my single crochet, which is kind of mixture between the single crochet and the half double crochet. So we begin with the ring, magic ring, and with the half double crochet. First will be a half double crochet. From here we begin to work the artistic, I named it artistic single crochet, my invention. It's pretty nice. Okay, so how to work it? Can you see we have this last bar? We have 3 bars here. Okay, this one. Okay, only in this one we insert hook. Then we pull up a loop, and we go around the circle, the magic circle, and we pull up another loop. 3 loops on the hook, pull through both. And again, 1, 2 into the third. Pull up a loop and around the circle. This is 3. We need to work like this 12. So it's a single crochet, actually more a, as I said, it's a mixture. I called it artistic single crochet, but just because this name came into my mind first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 2, 3. This one. It's one with this the back loop. Sorry, front loop of the stitch plus 1. This is the last one where we have to go in to work the stitch. Okay, and we just continue on like this. Okay, here we are. I don't know how many I already worked. I will just want to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, perfect. And 12. Okay, this is how we will work this stitch. And now how we will increase. Now, usually we will begin with the second round. With the second round, we will increase in each stitch around for 24 stitches. And to do this, this is my last stitch. 1, 2, 3. Insert hook into the third, pull up a loop, and then into the very first stitch, which is this one. Pull up a loop and pull through 2. Now, this is my very first stitch of the second round. And into the same stitch I need to increase. So again, 1, 2, 3, always go first into this one, pull up a loop, and then into the same stitch to increase. Now let me show you one more time. Go into the third bar, pull up a loop, and into the next stitch. And complete the stitch. Again, go into the third horizontal bar of the stitch and then into the same stitch because we want to increase. It's 1 and 2. We just continue on like this. 1, this is first stitch into the same, and 2. Work loose, because if you work loose you won't have problems to work this stitch. If you work too tight, you will have problems to work this stitch. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. One, oops, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I'll go ahead and finish this round. 1 and 2. Okay, so this is what I have. I finished my round. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 and 24. So I have all my stitches here. Now what I want to do is to show you how to keep the circle as a circle while increasing instead of working in kind of hexagon. Usually when we work in the round, to keep the circle flat, we have an algorithm to increase. I shown you this lots of time in my tutorials. Okay, now we will follow the same algorithm, just we will work a little bit in other manner, but let me just explain you. So we began with 12 artistic single crochets, then 24 into the second round. From the third round we begin with the algorithm, and the algorithm normally we go like this. We work kind of hexagon because we have the increasing lines that are well visible. Okay, now if you want to work the circle, so we don't have this kind of hexagon shape, but directly, let me show you this one where I'm working on like this right now. As you can see, it's a perfect circle. There is no hexagon shape here, and this is what I want to obtain. So I begin the third with 1 increase plus 1 artistic single crochet 12 times. So this is the sequence that I will repeat always 12 times, because if we begin with 12 stitches, the sequence to repeat is 12. It's 12 times for 36 stitches. Then normally into the fourth we used to work 1 increase and 2 stitches, 1 increase and 3 stitches, 1 increase and 4 stitches, 1 increase and 5 stitches, and so on. Here, to obtain this perfect circle, we will just switch. So into the first we begin with an increase, into the second we begin with a normal single crochet, into the next we begin with an increase, into the next we begin with a normal single crochet, which means 1 increase, 1 single crochet. Here we will begin with a single crochet, but we have to work 2 plus 1 increase, because this is the sequence to repeat. Then we finish with an increase, we will begin with an increase, 1 increase and 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay. Then we finish with a normal single crochet, we begin with a normal single crochet, and we complete 4 before the first increase. Then we finish with an increase, we begin with an increase, plus we worked 4 in between. Now we will work 5 artistic single crochets. Okay, of course 12 times, and this is for 72 plus 12, it's 84. Okay, now let me just finish my circumference, my crown of the hat, and I will be back to show you how to calculate if it's perfect for the circumference that you want to work. So you won't have problems from now on. This is my formula. Okay, so let me show. This is the third, and I said I will begin with an increase, which means I will increase first. In this stitch I will go and work 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 and 2. And I will work 1 stitch, 1 normally stitch, it's here, 1. And then again increase. Now I will repeat 5 more times this sequence. So 1 increase and 1 normal stitch, 1 stitch into the, okay, so this is what I have, 1 increase, 1 stitch, 1 increase, 1 stitch all around. This is the third. Now I will be back to show you how to begin the fourth. So we began with an increase, we finish with a normal stitch, and we have 36 stitches. We finish with a normal stitch. Into the next we finish with a normal stitch, we began with a normal stitch, only that we will work 2 normal stitches plus 1 increase. Okay, so we finish with a normal stitch, we begin with a normal stitch. So I work 1, put the marker on because this marks my very first stitch, 1. Now I will work 1 more, 2, and a increase. 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. So it's 1, 2 and an increase. So I'm sure now you've got the idea. So when you finish with an increase, we begin with an increase. When we finish with a normal single crochet, we begin with a normal single crochet. Anyway, just write down this list of mine and you will have it. Let me finish the circumference of the head. Okay, now let me explain you a little bit. We need two measures. We need the circumference of the head for a perfect head. The circumference of the head and the length. Now here for the length, from the middle, actually, the center of our head, we go down with the meter. We just go down like this, okay? So actually it's something like this we must do. We go down till the ear level, more or less, to cover the ear, obvious, because a hat. Or if you like it, so as you like it, exactly the length that you like it. In my case, it's about 23 centimeters, and the circumference, it's about 55 centimeters. Okay, so these two measures are very important. Now we go on and increase until we reach, from time to time you just need to measure the diameter, and my diameter now is 17 centimeters, and this diameter I need to multiply with 3. This is the P, Greek P. It's very important, this value in math. So it's 3.14. Okay, in my case is 53 and 38. Okay, I will just take 53. Now this number must be 2 to 3 centimeters less than the real circumference of the head. Okay, I have 2 centimeters less, so I stop here, I stop increasing here. So 2-3 centimeters less than the real circumference. These are my tricks. So actually this is my experience. Okay, I'm talking from my experience. So if you go equally, you will end up with a large beanie or hat or something. Okay, so this is the perfect formula. Now I will continue on in length without increasing, so working just these stitches. I will just continue on, it's 84 I think here. I will continue on 3/4 from the length that I measured, okay, about 3/4, because I just want to put a nice large border to this hat, and I will show you then how to work this border. Will be a slip stitch border. So I went on for the length that I need. It's about 16 centimeters that I worked from here, exactly from where I began. From here it's 16. Look at it. It's so beautiful, such a lovely texture it gives, not only because I came up with this stitch, but look at it, it's so beautiful. It's really beautiful. Okay, I love it. Now we will continue on with 1/4, so about 16. I have 23. I will go on for about 6 centimeters more with the slip stitch. So take off the marker and begin to slip stitch, back loop only, 1. This is my very first, then 2. Oops. Don't, when you slip stitch, don't work, so work loose, okay, like this. If you think you are not able to have a good tension, then you can switch to a larger hook. I am working here with 5 millimeters. Normally I can switch to 5.5, okay, because if you work too tight, will become too tight of course. Now let me just slip stitch, back loop only, until I reach the stitch before the stitch with the marker, so that will be the last stitch as it was so far, and then I will be back to show you how to continue on. It's easy and it gives such a lovely effect for the border. Okay, so for now this is what we have. So I will work till here, so this is the last stitch that I will slip stitch in, and then I will be back, but it's really easy. We will always work back loop only. So I worked, I slip stitched into the last before the marker. Okay, we can actually don't put the marker, but anyway, so back loop only. We will just continue on. This is the second. Okay, I will put it back loop only, because actually it's back loop only that we work. So we will just continue on slip stitching back loop only for the entire border. So actually I have 7 to 8 centimeters to cover, and I finish my hat. It's not mine, I am doing it for my husband, but I think I will make one for me too, because I really love it. Nice and warm and really easy to make, but I think it's a nice design with this artistic stitch of mine. I really enjoyed working it, and I hope you will enjoy it too. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss another video of mine, and you can just take a look on our boutique. You have the link below to see the yarns that we have. Don't forget that we are shipping Europe only. And if you have questions, just write to me. You have the email here on the screen, on the bottom of the screen actually. So you can just write to me, email me if you have questions about some yarns, or I don't know. Thank you. See you at the next tutorial. Bye bye. This is how it looks.